Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Garcia. Today I'd like to speak to you about the importance of beginning to invest in your retirement at an early age. Investing for retirement may be one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make. As we all know, a major point of concern in society today is that Social Security benefits will not have the funds available to support the elderly as they do today. This is due to the fact that the number of people in the workforce will be less than the number of people retiring. Social Security checks will be getting smaller, will only supplement your retirement. They're not going to be able to fund it. If you begin saving for retirement at an early age, the money contributed will compound with interest and make it possible for you to retire comfortably, even if there are no Social Security benefits available. Today, my goal is to inspire you to make it a personal policy to open a traditional and Roth individual retirement account and contribute to your company's 401k as well. Like many of you, I did not give much thought to saving for retirement. That wasn't until I saw my mom struggle to retire at the age of 70. Even though she had paid into Social Security for many years, the income was not enough for her to make ends meet by herself. I began researching retirement accounts and investing so that when I retire, I can maintain the quality of life that I enjoy now. So let's take a look at the different types of retirement accounts and how they can help you achieve your goal of retiring comfortably when you're ready to retire. The first type of retirement savings account I like to speak about is a 401k. Many of us have the opportunity to contribute to our company's 401k. However, many do not understand what it is, how it works, and what the advantages are to investing in your 401k. A 401k is an investment savings plan sponsored by an employer. It lets you save and invest a piece of your paycheck before taxes are taken out. Meaning it's tax deferred. Taxes aren't paid until that money is withdrawn from the account. With the 401k, you control how your money is invested. Most plans offer a spread of mutual funds, compound stocks, bonds, and money market investments. The most popular option tends to be target date funds, a combination of stocks and bonds that gradually become more conservative as you reach retirement. This is because while you're young, you can withstand a greater amount of risk in your investments. If you lose a little while you're young, there's plenty of time to recover from that. When you're older, you should invest more conservatively so as to lower your risk of losing any of your money you have invested. Most employers allow you to contribute to your 401k after 90 days of employment. Keep in mind that in order to pull that money out of your 401k, you need to be vested in that company, meaning that you have to have been at that company for a while or a certain length of time. This is a way for employers to retain employees as well. Employers typically contract an administrator to oversee the 401k. This is typically a large investment firm such as Fidelity, Merrill Lynch, Charles Schwab, all names I'm sure you've heard of. The investment firm will mail your statements and updates about your plan and its performance. You can also log into the websites and view the changes to your investments if you like. One of the benefits of investing in your company's 401k is that your employer will often match your contributions to a certain percent. The most popular matching plan for employees for employers is 3%. So let's take a look at an example of this. As you can see from the slide here. Let's say after you graduate from college, you get a job making $50,000 a year. Your employer has a policy in place to match your contribution of 3% of your salary, which in this case is $1,500. You have to contribute $1,500 a year, or $125 a month, in order for your employer to match your $1,500 in your 401k. While you can certainly contribute more to your 401k, if you like, your employer will only match that percentage that is stated in the company policy. In addition to this, the IRS also mandates limits how much money you can contribute to your 401k. According to IRS.gov, that amount for 2015 is currently $15,000. Let's assume you work for the same employer from the time you graduate, say 24 years old, until the time you want to retire at age 64. That's 40 years in the workforce. During these 40 years, you consistently contributed $1,500 a year, and every year your employer matched that $1,500, making your total contribution $3,000 a year for 40 years. That brings your total contribution of your 401k to $120,000. However, you also have to take into account compounding interest. Financial experts estimate the average rate of returns on an investment to be 9%. So if you're earning 9% on your investment every 40 years, then you'll have accumulated $1.5 million in today's money. However, when you take inflation into account, 1.5 million in 40 years will be the equivalent of close to $480,000. When you're ready to access this money, it's important to remember that pulling that money out of your 401k is something that you should only do when you retire or in case of extreme emergencies. If you decide to pull that money out of your 401k before you retire, you'll pay a tax on your savings at around 15%. If you leave your place of employment, always be sure to roll over your 401k into a traditional IRA. This way, you will maintain your savings and your money will continue to grow tax-free. This is something your financial advisor can help you with. Now that we know a little bit about what a 401k is, how it works, I would like to go over traditional and Roth IRAs and how they differ from a 401k. An IRA is an individual retirement account or savings plan that offers tax advantages to an individual that sets aside money for retirement. There are traditional IRAs and there are Roth IRAs. For both plans, the only way you can contribute is with money earned from working. If you're a student with no taxable compensation, then you cannot open an IRA. When you invest in a traditional IRA, your contributions are tax deductible. However, when you invest in a Roth IRA, your contributions are made up with after-tax dollars, and they grow tax-free. Each of these options are great ways to begin saving money for retirement. Yet each of them has their own advantages and disadvantages. The total amount of money that can be contributed to either traditional IRA or Roth IRA in 1 year is limited. For 2015, For 2015, you can contribute $5,500 per year, or your taxable compensation for the year, whichever is less. If you're under 49 years of age, if you're 50 years of age or older, you can contribute $6,500 per year. The main advantage of traditional IRAs is that your contributions are tax deductible. This is because all withdrawals from a traditional IRA are included in gross income and are taxed as such. Also, there is a 10% early distribution penalty if you withdraw funds from a regular IRA before the age of 59 and a half. For traditional IRAs, there are no contribution limitations based on income. Contributions may not be made in a regular IRA after you reach age 70 and a half. So that's the cutoff at 70 and a half. Now that we know what a traditional IRA is, let's look at the numbers of this. Using the same scenario from above, except this time we're going to contribute $4,000 a year, or $333 a month to your traditional IRA over 40 years. When you are ready to retire at age 64, you'll have $2.7 million in your traditional IRA, which after inflation will be around $850,000. When you reach the age of 70 and a half, you're required to take distributions from your traditional IRA. You and your financial advisor should get together and help you calculate your required minimum distribution, your RMD, based on the amount of your IRA account. So now that we know a little bit about traditional IRAs, let's take a look at Roth IRAs and the advantages of it. The main advantage of a Roth IRA is that your money grows tax-free. The maximum contributions allowed for a Roth IRA are the same as those of a traditional IRA. Another advantage that the Roth IRA has over a regular IRA is that any time the owner may withdraw up to the total amount of his contributions. Although you have to be careful because any withdrawal of more than what you've contributed will be subject to a tax penalty. Since the contribution limitations are the same for a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA, you have to weigh the advantages and disadvantages of each based on how that money is taxed. With a Roth IRA, you're paying with your after-tax money. You will not have to have a tax deduction, but you will not have a tax deduction, but you'll also not have to pay pay taxes on it when you pull it out, and there's no required minimum distribution. As you can see, early retirement is easy to do, and it's beneficial because it's easier to save a little at a time now while you're young instead of waiting until you're older, and then you're having to catch up saving larger and larger sums of money every month in order to reach your goal. If you begin to save consistently into retirement plans at an early age, you'll be able to retire when you want to be able to live when you want to, and be able to live comfortably for many years to come. 401ks, traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, they're all tools. They're tools to ensure that you retire comfortably at the age you want to retire at. There are many resources you can use to find out how much money you should have to retire at the age you want, as well as which kinds of funds, which funds and which vehicles for your money will work best for you. I challenge each of you to begin saving for retirement today. Even the smallest amount of money contributed to your retirement account will compound with interest and make it possible. It will make it possible to have the money to live comfortably in retirement. That concludes my speech. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you.